Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to Steins Gate. It is episode 3, and you know how it is. As always, if you want to see the reaction itself, please go down into my description and you will find a link where you just remove some parts and add the dots, and you will be able to reach the reaction itself. Once you've seen it, you are very welcome to come back here and hear me out on what I think about this episode, what I expect from the next one, and well, see you soon. For those of you who have come back, welcome back. So, I just checked, and I can officially approve that it is called CERN with a C, because that is the European research for atomar energy and atomar stuff overall, you know. So they kind of took the name and just changed one of those. They changed the first one, so they made an S out of the C. Well, that's okay. And I was like, I really know this, and now I know why. So let's get into the episode. It's cool to see we are really going for high technological stuff here. We are going into black hole theory, time traveling, teleportation. That's all very interesting to me and intriguing to me, because I am, well, wouldn't say a huge geek, but I'm a little bit into science fiction. I read a science fiction magazine, more like a story, you know, which comes out once a week, and from time to time there are discussions in there about, as example, the string theory from Hawking and black hole theories and everything else. So it is at least something I can talk a little bit about. Not that I have a very deep insight. It's in most cases way over my head. But I see some of the concepts they are using here. So the usage of black holes for time travel or for wormhole travel is something that is known for quite a very long time as a theory. I remember that there was a science fiction movie very long ago, in the age of my father, so it's like 30 years plus, which was, I think, called The Black Hole, and had this theory about going through. We've seen some science fiction movies in the past, in the last years. There was one with, I don't remember his name, this guy with a very harsh accent, who had where they had the idea of gravity as being used to alter time and space and everything. So, and gravity, in the end, a black hole is about gravity, because it is something that has such high gravity that it even attracts the light, it draws in the light. And the horizon of a black hole is something where even time changes. So it makes sense to use it. And it makes sense that they put this ability to create miniature black holes and use them possibly in the future for time travel in the hand of the Large Hadron Collider users or owners. Because that is something that was really discussed when the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland was the first time activated. There were people out there who said there is a chance, and even scientists approved there was a very small chance, you know, like tiny, that out of an accident kind of there might be a black hole being created if those two particles collide with each other. It still possibly might be happening, but it's very unlikely. But you know what, if it happens, we will not be aware of it, because it will be the end of the world in an instant. Because if it is a black hole, we are done. So, question here is, how small is such a miniature black hole? How much can it suck in? You know, stuff like that. However, back to the story itself. Sorry, went out a little bit there. So what I realized, so we had Marquise Kurisu, sorry, coming in. And I can completely see her reasons why she is coming in, and I'm fine with that. So she wanted to make sure if he was just groping her, or if there was something about his talking about her being stabbed. Because he was honest about it, and I think that's something that connected to her. And additionally, she may have been able to disprove all of his theories about time travel in this open talk they had. But I guess even then she could realize that he's not stupid. So his theories, although he is a little bit crazy, are in many ways scientifically based, which you can see by the fact that he's creating stuff. You know, he's creating these effects. So there is some scientific knowledge in his brain. So I guess that's why she came along. She for sure was interested into the banana, but before that she offered him a handshake. And that's where it gets interesting for me. So he wasn't able to do it. He wasn't able to give her the hand, to shake her hand. Question for me now is why? There might be two options I see right now. The one is, sure, he still believes that she's kind of a spy for the big enemy company, and she wanted to do something against him. Maybe like, you know, she has poison on her hand and stuff like that. That's the one option. The other option is, maybe he is not really as good in direct physical contact with people at all, or at least women, I'm not sure. I mean, he has a lot of female friends, so I'm not sure about that. I will have an eye on it if there's maybe something more. There's no question for me that there is some kind of attraction between those two, out of the fact that they're arguing so much with each other, you know. I mean, I don't know if you know such couples, but I do know couples who argue very often and very much, and sometimes it gets really, really annoying. But you know, they do like each other due to that. As strange as it is, they like to poke on each other, you know. So maybe there's something in the future for those two. Would be interesting to see. She gets sucked into the future laboratory here, at least until August, when she will leave again, possibly to the USA, I guess. And she agreed, which is, I mean, okay, there's something that happened, and she's a scientist. She wants to know what the heck happened there with this banana, because you cannot explain it on simple terms. So she, as a scientist, is intrigued to learn about that. Possibly that's why she joined. But it tells you as well that she does not completely despise those two guys, although they are creeps in her opinion, which is true. He named her Christina. I'm not sure why. And the good thing is Mayushi is very, very happy about it. I was like, when Mayushi came up the stairs, I was like, okay, that might go another way as well. That she's like upset, you know, like I'm the only girl, or are you behind? Are you trying to get him? Are you trying to get my boyfriend? But she's not like that at all. She is completely like, oh, cool, and another girl, another woman in the club. So happy, someone I can talk to, you know. I like that. She has a very, very positive and kind way of thinking. And I was really thinking about where the heck does she get all the money for all the food all the time? Because she's more neither feeding those guys. And we now know it's just, you cannot do it all the time. So she gets a little bit of hand money, which means she's possibly still living at home. Maybe we will learn more about her background as well. I think so. We are in episode 3 now. I mean, it's still a little bit too soon, but I would really like to see some background of the characters, where they come from, how they met, you know, stuff like that. Seeing that we are into time travel, we might very well get some of that. So it would be interesting, and I'm not saying entertaining. It would be fitting if we would have some time travel effect, that some of them met in the past, helped each other out in the past, and made the ways for them to where they are now, maybe. The microwave, secret project number 8, seems to be the key at the moment for the time travel effect that we have witnessed, at least for the email. I'm not sure if it is for everything else. Possibly there happened 2 time travels, the one time we've witnessed it. I don't mean this episode, I mean end of episode 1 to episode 2. Maybe in the Large Hadron Collider they had a miniature black hole, and they did a time travel. and everything changed. So maybe this was the moment when human died, you know? Possibly it was even her that died, no idea. We have seen her dying being backstabbed, but I guess not. So something happened, and everyone was like, their memories was shifted to the other timeline, which would be okay. At the same time, the effect with the email happened with the microwave at exactly the same time or around the same time, which is why they have the email. Question is, why does Kyoma still has, some meaning occurring here, still has his memories if everyone else lost their memories? And that's it where it gets complicated. Is it because he wrote the message? Or is it really that this time travel effect from the microwave somehow influenced him as well? I'm not sure, because in this case it would have happened this time again. And it didn't, you know? It just sent back the email into time. However, it's nice we see one step already. So there is somehow the microwave is able to do that. However, exactly. When it is close to the mobile, I guess, it has to be connected to the mobile. So there's some kind of connection. I don't have enough theoretically knowledge about microwaves, so I'm not sure what they are really exactly doing. So I will skip on that. We, however, learned then about CERN. So in this version here, there's a European Research Institute overall. It's not only about atomic energy, it is overall. So they are a huge complex and a very important and powerful complex. And they are hiding the fact that they are able to create black holes. So they said to the open, no, we don't. While they did, and they are even having an experiment on it, as it seems, in which someone died, a human died. So one might guess that they either pushed someone into the black hole to see if there's some kind of travel effect, or that they're even right now experimenting already with time travel teleportation by using the black holes. Interesting is that they did not mention a name. They simply called it the human died. So it might be about security that they're not using the names, but normally, thus this is an internal email, you would think that they put in a name, you know? Captain Dillinger, our astronaut or time messenger died, you know? So they would use a name if it was someone that maybe was trained for it or something like that, but they didn't. So we will see about that. There was one name mentioned. The email was sent to someone called Paul. So we will have to look out if there's a Paul in the future. I haven't seen one yet. Or I missed him. We will see. The program is called Z program. Seeing that this here is partially German, partially English, partially Japanese. As Steins Gate is Stein. The word Stein is German for stone. And gate, it's a gate. So question is, seeing about Steins Gate, it might very well be that it is a gate through time, and Stein is like the professor who develops it. Dr. Stein, Professor Stein, whatever. Or it is just something in the head of our beloved Ocarina. That's one thing, but seeing it is called a Z program, Z, in German, the word for time is Zeit. So it might be that Z is standing for this. So this time program, T program, T experiment, it would be in English. It might be anything else as well, you know, like DayZ. It's over, the end of the world. Yeah, and we have as a last thing in this episode the once again the IBM computer. So the girl in the shop down could listen to everything they said upstairs. I mean, it's just walls, you know, and the floor. Sure, the way they were screaming, she could hear a lot of it, and it seems she gets more and more into it. So I think it's only a matter of time until she will be part of the group. However, there was a discussion about the IBM 5100 computer, and John Titor wants this computer because it was built and produced before the language BASIC came out. So BASIC being a computer programming language, and thus the IBM does not use this. It would mean that if you're once again on this point of it's a large, the company, it's CERN, and everyone else is trying to rule the world, so they use this BASIC language to keep everything in check, or they're able to I don't know, see what's happening whenever one is using any computer with this language. I have no idea really. But the IBM is using a more broken down version, so it is more like, I guess, like a brain. So it's an easier version who would be able to work without accessing the BASIC frame. I'm not really sure what this is about. I think we will learn. But it makes a little bit of sense at least. I'm happy that finally John Titor popped up again in the comment sections there, which is strange because he wasn't there before. Oh no, he was just once and no one reacted to him, so that's it. And is finally aware of Ocarine being possibly someone from a different timeline, because that is what I think discussed last time. That he should be more aware of stuff like that, being a time traveler. If someone is telling you you're a time traveler and someone's telling you, hey, haven't we met like 20 years ago? And everyone else would be like, hey, no, don't think. As a time traveler, you should be like, huh, I don't remember, maybe I will do in the future. Or in this case, you know, future, back to in time, complicated. Or in this version here with the timelines, oh, maybe it's someone from another timeline who, whysoever, remembers me. And this is where you should be intrigued, which he is now. So I was a little bit surprised he didn't react the first time. He did it now. It's okay. And he sent his email to Ocarine, which means we might have some contact in the future. I think this is it right now. So we hacked into CERN. I mean, kudos. That is possibly not easy. So they do really have a very experienced hacker there. In case of Hashida, he took some time, but seriously, hacking into such a huge facility, such a huge organization is not easy. So he really is good. He knows what he's doing. Possibly it's only a matter of time until they're thrown out, and maybe they will get problems due to it in the future. But we will see. We will see. So I think this is it for this time, and we will learn more about what is happening the next time, as always. I hope you liked that. I did for sure. As always, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your opinion about it. Did I miss something important? Please don't spoil. Please don't spoil. I know I'm repeating myself here, but there are a lot of people right now in the comment section who are very strongly recommend me to not read comments anymore, or at least ignore it, you know. I really like to see your comments. I like to read what you think about, what you theorize about at this point without knowing the future. And I wouldn't be happy if I had to like disable comments or stuff like that. I really don't like that. I want to hear about you, because this is not a solo ride here. This is a group journey. I'm just sitting in the driver's seat, you know. So please feel free to comment, but please don't spoil. That's it for this time. My name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.